You're listening to Daily Sip with Marcel, giving you morning moments of insight, laughter, and a little something to stir the soul.
Yeah. Welcome back to Daily Sip with Marcel, where we take a quick swig of the news and try not to spill any on our favorite sweater. Yes, today is November 18th, 2025. And my friends, we are in the home stretch of the year. Only 37 days until Christmas. And next week is the glorious feast of Thanksgiving. And I hear the sirens because Black Friday sales start this week. Prepare your wallets for their inevitable demise. Now, speaking of things that are falling faster than my tolerance for eggnog, let's talk about what's hitting home. You know, our United States, our union. You look at the news and it seems like we are more divided than a Thanksgiving turkey carving gone wrong. But, yes, my friends, I have news that is so fresh, it practically smells like a new AP poll, because it is a new AP poll. And today I want to talk about uniting Americans in a time of polarization. And you may think, yeah, okay, it must be about puppies, right? Or maybe a universal love for Tom Cruise, who is finally getting his Oscar moment with a Lifetime Achievement Trophy. No, my friends. It is not. The one thing that I want to talk about that truly unites this glorious, complicated country is a nagging worry about daily household costs. That's right, my friends. According to Dante Cini, the founder and director of the American Communities Project, the common denominator across all community types is economic angst, because concerns about inflation are across the board. We are all united by the shared experience of staring mournfully at our bank accounts after a trip to the supermarket. Yeah. Now, why is rising optimism more important now than ever? Because even though we are all bonded by checking the price of bananas, our levels of hope are doing a little dance. While pessimism has risen in the cities since last year, rural America is actually more optimistic about what lies ahead for the United States. Yes, residents of rural Middle America are seeing a serious uptick in hope. About 6 in 10 residents say they are hopeful, which is a significant jump from the 43% in the 2024 survey. That's like finding a pristine parking spot on Black Friday, a small miracle, but sometimes I call that the secret. But hold on to your horses, big city sippers. Yes, the dwellers of the cities are singing a different tune. Most of the big city residents feel hopeful has shrunk from 55% last year to 45% in the new survey. The big city residents are worried about things like polarization and the state of democracy, in addition to the economy. And let's talk about the heavily Hispanic areas, where residents are also feeling worst about the future of their communities. For example, in Kissimmee, Florida, 58% of the residents of such communities are hopeful about the future, which is down dramatically from 78% last year. The drop, my friends, is so steep that they are substantially less likely to say they're hopeful about the future of their children or the next generation. Yes, my friends, we are in a time where one side of the coin feels hopeful about our country's future, while the other side feels the weight of polarization, immigration concerns, and economic instability. My point is this: we are all in the same boat. Yes, my friends, my Sipper Nation. It's just that some people are rowing with oars of optimism, and others are just clinging to a noodle of existential dread. But remember, my friends, the poll confirms we are all feeling that pinch on our daily household costs. You, my friends, are not alone in your grocery store anxiety. This is why we must subscribe to Daily Sip with Marcel and help share this critical information. Yes, when you share this episode, you are sending a beacon of light to someone who might feel like they are standing alone in the dark, checking the price of Halloween candy the day after Halloween. Let them know that at least we are all equally annoyed about economic angst. Now, to our final and most important part of the show. What should you do to help build optimism in your future? First, my friends, embrace the small victories. If you're a rural resident feeling upbeat, lean into that hope, even if the promised economic revival hasn't fully materialized yet. If you're feeling less hopeful, like many in big cities are today, focus on the issues you can impact locally, like connecting with old friends. You'll be surprised how good that really feels. And today, my friends, I'm going to give you my 3-step plan for building optimism. Yeah, the power of spirit. First, remember that the entire country, regardless of where you live or your political leanings, we are united by the stress of inflation. We are united. So acknowledge the unity. You are part of the team, and everyone feels the cost. Yes, even if that $15 candy variety pack for Halloween is now $7.50. Second, focus locally. If you are worried about the state of democracy and polarization, connect with your community. Connecting with old friends matters. Build optimism brick by brick, starting with your immediate circle. And find comfort. Yes, this is number 3. It's probably most important. Find your comfort. Whether it's the simple joy of an elephant family smashing pumpkins at the zoo or the excitement of a new movie release, there are bits of news that are purely distracting and joyful. Yes, my friends, embrace them. So remember this. Even when the price of everything else is rising, the cost of shared misery or shared economic angst is still free, my friends, and that is something we can all bond over. Yeah. Join us next time on Daily Sip, and don't forget to share, subscribe, and review. We'll toast to the future where we can afford both the coffee and the cream. Thanks for spending part of your day with me. If today's sip gave you something to think about, smile about, or share, pass it on. Be sure to follow the show so we can keep sipping together. Until next time, I'm Marcel. Stay grounded, stay grateful, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for letting me be part of your day. And until next time, keep noticing what makes life taste a little better. And if you're loving this, don't just sip in silence. Follow us, hit the subscribe button, and pour this into someone else's cup. Share it, spread it. Let's wake the world up together, one daily sip at a time.